This is Robin Littal from BlackSportsOnline.com, and you're listening to the Ugly Truth Podcast. Well, I don't tell you those pretty lies. I tell you the ugly truth about what's going on in the world of sports, entertainment, and viral news. Yes, it's my birthday. I'm not going to say go shorty, it's my birthday. But yes, it is. It is my birthday. It's also approximately, and I get into that in another podcast, but approximately 15 years since I first bought the domain blacksportsonline.com. 15 years, if you can honestly believe that. 15 years ago, I went on GoDaddy and bought blacksportsonline.com because I wanted a website where minorities could talk about sports and entertainment in the sense where we wouldn't have to worry about being censored and being edited and all of that other stuff that ends up happening when you work for a company. I wanted to be independent, and that's exactly what I ended up being. So I guess I would say congratulations to me. Congratulations to me because BSO is still alive and well, still up and running. Things are going still great. So I have no complaints or anything about that. I appreciate you guys still hanging with me after all of these years. So we're going to try to do more podcasts, more live streams, more visual editing, and all of that stuff that you guys are into these days. Back in my day, back when we started 15 years ago, we didn't have all of this technology. So if you had to use actual turntables and other things to record MP3s and get it up on sites and stuff. It was MySpace used to have a thing where if you recorded an MP3, you could upload your music, rap songs, and all of this stuff. That was a long time ago. That's where I'm from the MySpace and Black Planet type of days of social media. You guys probably don't know about Black Planet, probably don't know about MySpace, probably don't know about stuff like that. You're probably too young for a lot of that. But that's the predecessor to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all of that stuff. Black Planet. I think it's still active too. I'm not sure. I know MySpace is out there, but I'm not sure. So I want to talk about a couple of things, break down a couple of things. First thing we probably need to talk about is Uncle Shannon Sharp making Orlando Scandrick cry in the car. I wanted to tell you guys something. See, what happens is on these debate shows, they have a meeting before they go out. Now, most of them do them live. Not all of them, but most of them do them live. They have a meeting, and when they have this meeting, they go out and they say, hey, this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about X, Y, and Z, making a lively discussion, et cetera, et cetera. Now, every once in a while, things happen that goes off the rail of the meeting when they go over the topics and everything. A good example of that is when Jalen Rose called Skip Bayless Water Pistol Pete and brought up his high school basketball record, which was trash and everything. Skip Bayless wasn't prepared for that because they hadn't talked about that in the meeting. So they talk about it in the meeting, and then next thing you know, Skip got all mad and tried to ban Jalen and was basically crying on TV. So that's what happened today. They probably had a meeting. So we're going to talk about the Eagles. We're going to talk about Carson Wentz, et cetera, et cetera. And Shannon Sharp just got fed up with Orlando Scandrick acting like Dre from Power and just snitching and just being bitter and all of this stuff. And so he just called him out on the fact that, let's be honest, at one point Scandrick, it was decent. And the reason that he's not playing right now and the reason that he's on Undisputed is because he's not good anymore. He's trash. Well, that's not a bad thing. I mean, at least you got a job. You work it. But that's the truth, So it's kind of odd to have somebody come on TV and be so bitter about their ex-teammates when the fact was you couldn't stay on the squad. And that's why you're not on the squad right now. And I think it hurt him because he knew it was the truth. And that's why he looked like he wanted to cry in the car. I don't know if he's even upset the fact that Drea's with some other guy from Corey Coleman from the Giants. Used to be with the Browns. She just moved on to another athlete. I mean, you kind of knew that was going to happen. I mean, they've been engaged for like 10 years. So, I mean, there's obviously a reason that they never got married. So you just shouldn't snitch, first off. You shouldn't be bitter. But I will say this, but being bitter and snitching makes for good TV. And that's why they have Orlando Scandrick on, because they know he's bitter and they know he's going to snitch, and they're hoping that he's going to say some stuff that we wouldn't know about with the snitching, and that makes people want to watch. That's good TV. Thank you, Mr. Draper. Appreciate the happy birthday. Having a very good day. The wife is taking me out later on, and it's a surprise, so I'm very excited about that. So that's why Orlando Scandrick is all upset, because he wasn't expecting that. They talk about that in the meeting. So I talk about these things in the meeting. Hey, I'm going to say this about you. Well, don't get upset, but I'm just going to throw it out there to make it a little bit more exciting. And they didn't do that. When you don't throw it out there in the meeting, then you get caught and all of a sudden you're crying and stuff all on TV. But that's good. That's what makes good live TV. We're talking about Undisputed. We're not talking about First Take. So in the end, it worked. In my opinion, I think it worked. Jerry Jones. Let me tell you something about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones needs a puppet. Doesn't matter who the coach was going to be. The coach had to be a puppet. And when I say a puppet, I don't mean that he's not a good coach or anything. I'm just saying that you have to let Jerry Jones get his shine. Jerry Jones wants to be Beyonce. You have to be okay with being Michelle Williams. At best, Kelly Rowland. Hell, you can be Jay-Z. You can't be Beyonce in Jerry Jones's world. So he has to have a puppet. And one of the things, hey, I'm going to have my radio show. I'm going to do my interviews after the game. They're going to show me on the during the game 17 times. I'm going to talk a lot. You might not like what I have to say. I'm going to talk about the players. I'm going to talk about the management. I'll do all of it. I'm still going to be the owner. I'm going to be the GM. I'm going to be the director. I'll be everything. And you have to be Kelly Rowland. You have to be you God of Wu-Tang Clan. That's what Jerry Jones has to have. And Mike McCarthy was like, cool, I'll be you God. I'll be, Ronnie DeVoe, Ricky Bell. I'll be that guy. That's fine with me. I just want another job. Give me the cash. Let me coach the team. And you could be Beyonce. You could be Bobby Brown. You could be all of that. Mick Jagger. You could be whoever you want to be. I don't care. Now, some would say that the Cowboys can't flourish until Jerry Jones takes a step back and decides to be Kelly Rowland himself and let somebody else be Beyonce. Because when Jerry Jones was Beyonce and when Jimmy Johnson was Beyonce and Jerry Jones was Kelly Rowland, everything was all good. But at some point, it's you Ralph Tresvant and Bobby Brown, like, hey, I want to go solo. I want to be the main guy. I'm singing Mr. Telephone Man a whole lot. I'm singing for 7 minutes. Jerry Jones wants to be Bobby Brown. I don't know if he does the coke or whatever, but he wants to be Bobby Brown. Doesn't want to be Ralph. Doesn't want to be Ricky Bell. Doesn't want to be Ricky and Ronnie, Bobby, Johnny too. Got to be Bobby Brown. I get it. He's the owner. Well, he's going to be the owner, and his family's going to be the owner for a very long period of time. We have to see if that can actually lead to some success with the Cowboys, because it hasn't for like 20 years. So we'll see. Mike McCarthy, cool with being Ralph. Cool with being Kelly Rowland and Michelle Williams. He's cool with it. So we have to see how it works out. Hasn't worked out in the past. Didn't work out with Jason Garrett, but we have to see how it works out now. I wasn't even going to talk about this. I just saw this story. We just posted it on BSO. I don't know. I feel like since I'm getting old, I got to give advice. I remember when I was the young guy in the room for a very long period of time. When I started BSO, I was 25, 26. And I would go to these events, And I've been in these media rooms, and I was always the youngest guy. And then slowly but surely, I became not the oldest guy, but like somewhere in the middle, the experienced guy. So I feel like I get experience out for some odd reason. People call me uncle and OG and stuff now. But I saw this story about the Red Lobster. You saw the Red Lobster on Twitter. Girl couldn't buy some dude Red Lobster. He said that, she wasn't he was too high a caliber of a man for her. If she can't get on Red Lobster, then, she needs to go back to mopping floors or some stuff like that people say on social media. Think about that, ladies, and probably fellas too, is that when someone likes you, they never talk to you like that. So when somebody wants to be with you, when someone wants to take you to Red Lobster, when someone just wants to be nice to you, they are generally. And if they're not, they probably just don't. Now, people will use you even if they don't like you. Now, that's the most important thing to remember. A lot of guys and girls don't like the guys and girls that they're messing with, but they're useful in certain ways. So because they're useful in certain ways, they continue to have them around. So if you think you can get some free Red Lobster out of it, then you keep the person around. Can't get the free Red Lobster, all of a sudden, she's not your caliber. She's not your caliber. Now, this is what young people say because, no knock on Red Lobster. If Red Lobster is your fine dining experience, that's perfectly fine. But it's Red Lobster. It's basically seafood, fast food. And I think we're all young, maybe Red Lobster is a big deal. But, as you get older, you realize, hey, some stuff a little bit better than Red Lobster. Certainly some things better than Red Lobster. Just letting you know. That's just letting you know. So hopefully that young lady finds someone that actually likes her, appreciates that she cooks and stuff. This dude didn't like her at all. And if he did, he wouldn't have said what he was going to say. Lakers going to try to trade Kyle Kuzma because his trainer said that LeBron didn't want no smoke with Kawhi. The lesson here is just when you have people that's connected to you, a lot of times they like to talk more than you talk. We're going to get to that in a minute, talk about Earl Spence and Bud Crawford. Never let the person talk more than you talk. You the boss. They work for you. Don't let them do all the talking. They'll end up messing you up. Don't want to mess up your money. Kyle Kuzma has a good with the Lakers. I look at things like this. Kyle Kuzma on a bad team probably can average 20 points, 22 points. Maybe a fringe all-star on a bad team. But think about all of if Kyle Kuzma was drafted by, I don't know, the Bobcats or whatever, the Hornets, whatever, they're not the Bobcats anymore. He wouldn't have any of this stuff. Any of the attention, social media, they may have some IG models, but maybe not the good IG models. But because Lakers, the thing, so you need to try to cut that. You need to go to Jenny Buss and be like, hey, my bad, I'm sorry with all this stuff and not deal, so you don't get traded. Because you go to the Kings, we never heard from you again. I'm just saying, and from you again, not going like all OJ on you, but I'm just trying to help you out. But finally, Earl Spence, Bud Crawford, a lot of chirping on social media. That's part of boxing community, Twitter, social media, YouTube. There's always a lot of chirping. A couple of things. Bud Crawford got to stop letting people speak for him. He had his boy doing a long YouTube rant where he talked about everybody. It's a sister, I think, is talking to Earl Spence. The facts of the matter of this is the simple facts of the matter. Here are the simple facts of the matter. Bud Crawford had his contract come up. Now, before I even get into that, let me just say, when your contract comes up and you're a free agent, you are free to do whatever you want to do. I have absolutely no problem with whatever you do when you are a free agent. You can do whatever the hell you do. That's your right. Your contract is over. You're free. Do whatever. Now, with that being said, when Bud's contract came up, he had a couple of options. Could have been a free agent and stayed a free agent and did fight-by-fight deals. Very similar to Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia just fights wherever the hell he wants to fight after he got rid of Top Rank. That's a theme here. So you just fight on the Zone, fight on Showtime, fight on Fox. Fight wherever you want to fight. ESPN, you can do whatever. You're a free agent. You're a high commodity free agent. And you can do fight-by-fight deals. You can do Tyson Fury, do a couple of fights here, do a couple of fights there. Do whatever you want to do. Free agent. Get to sign with PBC. Signing with PBC automatically probably gets him the same money, if not more money, and automatically gives him access to every elite welterweight in the division. Spence, Garcia, Mikey, and Danny, Porter, Ugas, Lipinets. Am I missing somebody? I'm probably missing somebody. Pacquiao. There's access to every single elite middleweight, the top 6 or 7, all in PBC. Had his option to do that. Would have been able to fight him. Would have been big fights, probably pay-per-view fights, big money fights, big attention fights. Could have did that. That was his choice. Lastly, re-signed with Top Rank and ESPN for however much money they were offering, and absolutely know that you would have issues getting big fights because Top Rank doesn't have anybody at welterweight. Bud chose, once again, his choice, option number 3. Stay with Bob Arum, stay with Top Rank, knowing they would have a difficult time getting fights if he stayed with Top Rank. He made that decision. Now, people criticize now his lack of competition, his lack of people that he's fighting, the quality, caliber of fights that he has at 147. Now, he's upset about that because he's like, I can't get the fights. I don't think Bud Crawford is scared of anybody. I think Bud Crawford will fight anybody. But he's upset at a decision that was dictated what happened that he made. You can't be upset at people say, hey, listen, you got dropped by the mean machine. Yeah, you made Jeff Horn look bad, but, come on, it's Jeff Horn. Big Victor Postal. I mean, who else? I don't even know who else. American. Come on now. That's not a good resume. We know this. He knows this. So he's upset at Spence. He's upset at Danny Garcia. He's upset. They threw Lipinets in there. He's upset with PBC and all of this stuff. But he chose to put himself in this position to be criticized. The reason people aren't criticizing as much Errol Spence is because they know Errol Spence can fight Sean Porter, Manny Pacquiao, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman. I forgot Keith Thurman before. Lipinets, Ugas. They know there's good fights, regardless if he fights Terry Crawford or not. They know that there's good fights on the horizon for them. And seeing his fight with Sean Porter only rises that up because, hey, we want to see all of this matchmaking. What happens when he fights Danny Garcia? What happens when Pacquiao comes back? It's like a round robin going on. So they know there's good fights. So their criticism towards Spence is not as high. Because if Spence beats, and we're just going back in time here, if Spence was to beat Kell Brook, Lamont Peterson, Mikey Garcia, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, and Keith Thurman at 147. That's 7 B to A level fighters. How can you question his resume just because he didn't fight Bud Crawford? But who was Bud Crawford going to fight? Ray Robinson, who was life and death with the Mean Machine, who dropped Bud Crawford? Come on now. Follow me on Twitter at BSO, Facebook, Black Sports Online, Instagram, BSO TV, and catch me every night on FS1, TMZ Sports, where I'm talking about entertainment and sports with Evan and Mike. Check your local listings. A lot of times we come on early in the morning before all the Embrace Your Debate shows come on FS1. Appreciate your support. Thank you for all your happy birthday wishes, and I'm out.